Have you ever stopped to think about how certain people seem to be in tune with the universe, attracting success, happiness, and opportunities without apparent effort? What do they know that so many others ignore? Behind these achievements, there is no magic, but the understanding of universal laws that govern everything around us. Imagine that your life is a magnetic field, shaped by your actions, thoughts, and emotions. Are you vibrating at the right frequency to attract what you want? Today, we're going to explore these 10 fascinating laws in depth, revealing how they can transform your reality in ways you never imagined. Write yourself on the channel, activate the bell, and stay with me until the end and discover the power that is already within you, waiting to be activated. Imagine a vast ocean, calm and serene, where every drop is both unique and part of something bigger. When a stone touches the surface, it creates ripples that spread endlessly. This is how the law of oneness works, where everything is interconnected. Even the smallest action generates waves that influence the whole. In a distant village, a woman decided to plant trees along a path leading to the nearest town. At first, his attitude was seen as insignificant. One person alone cannot change the world, they said. Years later, what started as a simple act became a vibrant forest that not only provided shade, but also life. That's the power of the silent impact of individual actions. When you understand this universal connection, you begin to realize that no word, gesture, or choice is irrelevant. Every action you take contributes to a more balanced or more chaotic universe. Words spoken with love can inspire courage in someone far away, just as negative attitudes can sow discord at an unexpected point. More than a metaphor, the law of unity reveals that we are constantly exchanging energy with the universe. Whether through the thoughts we nurture or the choices we make, we are active creators of a shared reality. When a bird builds a nest, it not only takes shelter, but also transforms the surrounding environment. In the same way, our actions create reflexes that return to us. By understanding this law, a call arises to act with conscience. Practicing kindness, being patient, forgiving, and cultivating positive emotions are choices that reverberate in powerful ways. At the end of the day, what you offer the world is not only a reflection of who you are, but also the foundation of the future you want to build. And so, oneness consciousness naturally leads to an even deeper reflection. If we are all interconnected, how can we adjust our inner vibration to create harmony, not only in our lives, but in everything around us? If everything in the universe is interconnected, then the vibrations we emanate become the invisible link between us and the whole. The law of vibration teaches us that we are like antennas. We capture and transmit frequencies, attracting energies that resonate with our inner state. Thus, the universe does not respond to what we want, but to what we vibrate. Once a young musician struggled to find inspiration. His compositions seemed devoid of life, a reflection of his own concerns and insecurities. One mentor told him, "If you want to create music that touches the heart, you need to start by vibrating harmony within you." He began to seek out moments of simple happiness, connecting with nature and surrounding himself with positive people. Gradually, his compositions blossomed, reflecting the change in his vibration. In the same way, our emotions and thoughts are like musical notes that make up the melody of our life. When we nurture love, gratitude, and joy, we tune into frequencies that attract more of these energies to our reality. On the other hand, when we fixate on negative thoughts, we end up stuck in a cycle that perpetuates difficulties. But how to adjust this tune? Small steps make all the difference. The simple act of smiling, even in difficult times, can raise your vibrations and inspire others. Practicing gratitude daily, focusing on the good, strengthens this connection. And yet, surrounding yourself with healthy environments and people who uplift us emotionally is essential to sustain this positive frequency. However, raising the vibrations is not feigning happiness or ignoring problems. It is an exercise in authenticity, recognizing the emotions that challenge us and transforming them into creative force. When we see challenges as learning opportunities, we change the frequency of our response to the world. This energetic dance between our thoughts and reality creates an ongoing reflection. And if our vibrations influence what we attract, how do they relate to the concept of consequences and the eternal cycle of cause and effect? At the heart of every action is an eternal principle. What we do returns to us. The law of cause and effect is the constant reminder that our choices shape our journey. It is not a question of punishment or reward, but of responsibility. Each gesture, thought, or word sets off a sequence of events, like dominoes falling one after the other. Imagine a farmer who, in the midst of a drought, chose to share his water with a neighbor. Months later, in times of plenty, it was he who received support when his harvest was threatened. The generosity he planted returned at an unexpected time, proving that the universe gives back the energy we emit. This law applies not only to grandiose actions, but to everyday choices. For example, a small act of kindness can brighten someone's day, creating a ripple effect that reaches out to others. On the other hand, neglecting our own habits, such as ignoring unnecessary rest, can lead to cumulative consequences that affect us physically and emotionally. Understanding the law of cause and effect is empowering, as it gives us control over what we grow. This does not mean avoiding mistakes, but learning from them and adjusting course. Each conscious choice becomes a brick in the construction of a more balanced future. This balance, by the way, is what sustains the universe. The search for harmony between opposing forces is a natural manifestation of this law, leading us to the understanding that balance is the next step to living in peace with life. The universe works like a constantly adjusting scale. The law of balance reveals that for every force exerted, there is a counterpart that seeks to restore harmony. As with a taut rope, excess tension or relaxation can break the wire. Learning to live in harmony with this dynamic is essential for well-being. Once, an executive obsessed with professional success neglected his health and relationships. He believed that working tirelessly was the key to achieving his dreams. However, the body began to show warning signs. The accumulated stress and fatigue resulted in a breakdown that forced him to reevaluate his priorities. By incorporating moments of rest and family connection into his routine, he found that balance not only improved his health, but also made him more efficient at work. This story reflects a universal principle. When one aspect of life is overloaded, the universe steps in to restore stability. The same occurs in relationships, where selfishness or negligence can lead to rupture. The relentless search for more, whether it's power, money, or recognition, often results in emotional exhaustion and loss of purpose. Balance, however, is not passivity. It is the art of managing the opposing forces of life, such as work and rest, giving and receiving, ambition and gratitude. To achieve it, it is important to learn to identify the signs of imbalance, such as excessive tiredness or constant dissatisfaction. Just as a gardener adjusts a plant's light and water needs, we must cultivate our life carefully, ensuring that all aspects receive the necessary attention. When we embrace this harmony, we realize that balance is a guiding force. It does not limit us, but frees us to live with more lightness and purpose. And by balancing our energies, we create space to transform them into actions that shape the reality around us. If balance teaches us to manage forces, energy transformation invites us to channel them productively. Emotions, thoughts, and intentions are like currents of energy that, if not directed correctly, can paralyze or propel us. This law reminds us that all energy, positive or negative, can be converted into something constructive. Consider the story of an artist who experienced great loss. For months, sadness consumed his creativity. However, rather than allow pain to define her, she decided to express it through painting. His works, charged with emotion, not only brought him recognition, but also helped others to deal with their own pain. The transformation of her emotional energy became a source of healing and inspiration. This same dynamic is present in our daily lives. When we face challenges, we often feel fear, anger, or frustration. These emotions, while uncomfortable, are like raw fuel that can be refined into motivation, creativity, or learning. The secret is to recognize the raw energy and choose how to transform it. Practices such as meditation, physical exercise, and artistic expression are ways to channel this force. They help redirect negative emotions, such as anxiety, into a state of presence and productivity. This transformation not only improves our well-being, but also connects us with the ability to create, innovate, and solve problems. Understanding the transformation of energy is an invitation to be protagonists in our own history. Every thought or emotion is an opportunity to shape reality in a conscious way. And by learning to transform energies, we are ready to use this force to attract what we desire in the world. If everything in the universe is energy, then what we vibrate and transform becomes what we attract. The law of attraction is a powerful reminder that our thoughts and feelings directly shape reality. It's not just about desiring something, but about aligning your mind, heart, and actions with what you want to manifest. Imagine a young woman who, after years of frustration, decided to reprogram her way of thinking. She began to visualize her dream, opening a cozy coffee shop as if it were already real. In parallel, he worked hard to acquire the necessary skills and create connections in the community. Gradually, opportunities began to emerge. Interested investors, unexpected support, and finally the realization of their goal. The basis of this law is to understand that your thoughts and emotions are like commands to the universe. When you focus on the negative, it's as if you're programming your reality to attract difficulties. On the other hand, when you cultivate gratitude and believe in the potential of your dreams, you create a field of possibilities that resonates with that energy. Practices such as positive affirmations and visualizations are powerful tools for applying the law of attraction. By imagining in detail what you want to achieve and feeling as if it is already real, you create an emotional connection that strengthens your vibration. However, the key is to act on your desires, as without movement, dreams remain static. This journey of alignment between thought and action prepares us for the next step, accepting life with courage and flexibility, recognizing that acceptance is part of the manifestation process. There are times when we resist what life presents to us, as if we could fight against the tides that envelop us. The law of acceptance teaches us that embracing reality does not mean passivity, but a deep understanding that we can only change what we first accept. A meditation teacher once told the story of a man who got stuck in a storm at sea. He resisted the waves, struggling to maintain control, but he was being swept away. Exhausted, he decided to relax and float. It was then that he realized that the currents were guiding him back to shore. This act of surrender was not giving up, but trusting that life had a path for him. Acceptance is like a key that unlocks new possibilities. When we resist, we spend energy fighting against what already is. For example, when we face an unexpected problem, our initial impulse may be to reject it. We feel anger, frustration, or fear, which only deepens our suffering. However, by accepting the situation, we begin to see solutions that were previously hidden. This does not mean agreeing with everything or giving up on our ideals. Rather, it is recognizing what cannot be changed and channeling our energy to act consciously on what is within our reach. When we accept it, we gain clarity to distinguish the essential from the superfluous. Practices such as mindfulness help cultivate acceptance. Observing thoughts without judging them, recognizing emotions without repressing them, and understanding challenges as part of the flow of life make us more resilient. Instead of fearing change, we can see it as an opportunity to grow. With this new perspective, we come to understand the cycles of life in a more harmonious way. After all, acceptance prepares us to navigate the ups and downs with grace, connecting us to the natural rhythm of existence. Just as the seasons of the year follow a pattern of renewal, our lives are also governed by cycles. The law of cyclicity reminds us that moments of growth and decline are part of a continuous flow and necessary for balance. Resisting these cycles is like trying to hold back the tide. A remarkable story tells of a farmer who, in a period of drought, accepted that it was time to rest his land. Instead of insisting on planting, he took advantage of the moment to learn new cultivation techniques and better plan the next harvest. When the rains returned, he was more prepared than ever, and his harvest was plentiful. The break, which seemed like an obstacle, proved to be a time of preparation. Likewise, in our lives, periods of rest are not synonymous with failure. They give us the opportunity to reflect, learn, and renew strength. Ignoring this natural cycle leads to burnout, while respecting it aligns us with the wisdom of the universe. These rhythms are present in everything around us: sunrise and sunset, tides, seasons, and even our moments of energy and apathy. Knowing how to identify when it's time to act and when it's time to rest is essential to living in harmony. Accepting these cycles does not mean abandoning our dreams, but rather learning to flow with them. When we align ourselves with the rhythm of life, we realize that each season has a purpose. Moments of growth are exciting, but periods of introspection strengthen and prepare us for what comes next. This understanding leads us to a powerful insight. To turn our dreams into reality, it is not enough to recognize the cycles. It takes action, and action is the next key step in shaping our destiny. How many times have we been paralyzed waiting for the right moment, the perfect signal, or even the courage to start? The law of action reminds us that it is movement that creates inspiration, not the other way around. There is no dream that comes true without the first step. Imagine a young woman who was full of brilliant ideas, but who constantly postponed her plans for fear of making mistakes. One day she decided to start small. She dedicated 30 minutes a day to the project she dreamed of. Over time, this habit evolved, and what once seemed impossible began to take shape. Today, his initiative impacts thousands of people, proving that great achievements start with small steps. This law teaches us that acting does not only mean doing, but also daring. It is facing the fears and doubts that arise when we leave the comfort zone. We don't need to have all the answers or ensure success before we start. Learning happens during the process. The action generates a multiplier effect. When we move, we make room for new opportunities to arise. It's like riding a bike. While you're standing still, the fear of falling is greater. But as soon as you start pedaling, balance comes naturally. The same is true of dreams. Mistakes are part of the journey and are valuable. They show us what needs to be adjusted and give us a chance to learn. So the action is not just about getting to the destination, but about transforming who we are along the way. When we understand the power of movement, we realize that we are closer than we imagined to achieving the freedom to shape our lives. And this freedom is the culmination of the journey. Life is like a board full of paths and possibilities. The law of freedom of choice reminds us that, at every moment, we have the power to decide which doors to open and which paths to follow. These choices, big or small, shape our destiny irreversibly. Imagine a man faced with a great dilemma. He dreamed of quitting a stable job to start his own business, but fear paralyzed him. After reflection, he realized that the greatest prison was not stability, but the belief that he had no control over his life. He decided to act, even with uncertainties, and began his journey as an entrepreneur. Years later, when he looked back, he saw that that decision, made with courage, transformed his story. Freedom of choice is a powerful gift, but one that demands responsibility. Often, we feel like pieces in a chess game, moved by external forces. However, this is a comfortable illusion. Even in difficult situations, we have the power to decide how to react. As Viktor Frankl said, the last of human freedoms is the ability to choose our attitude in any circumstance. This freedom, however, can be frightening. With so many options, how do you know which path is the right one? The answer lies in aligning your choices with your values and purpose. Every decision should be seen as a seed. Plant what you want to harvest. Choosing paths that resonate with your authenticity is what differentiates momentary success from a fulfilling life. However, it is important to remember that no choice is definitive. If the path seems wrong, there is always the possibility of recalculating the route. The universe does not punish mistakes, but it offers us learning. Every turn in the way is an opportunity to grow and refine our vision. The Freedom of Choice Act is not just about deciding, but about creating. It's the chance to consciously shape your life, turning it into a masterpiece. At every step, you write your story and discover that, in the end, true freedom lies in living with intention and courage. You've just unraveled the 10 universal laws that govern our lives. Each one is an invitation to live more consciously, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you want to create. Now the power is in your hands. Reflect on which of these laws resonated with you the most. Is it the law of vibration, asking you to raise your energy? Or the law of action, encouraging you to take the next step? Whatever it is, the universe is waiting for your answer. Share in the comments how these laws impact your life. What changes are you willing to make? Inspire others with your story and show that living in harmony with the universe is a choice within everyone's reach. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share this video with someone who needs to know these laws. Let's transform the world together. See you in the next video.